Ndị be anyị anyị kene m unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị nke taa. Daalụ nne na ụmụ Chineke, anyị sịkwa nke echiri ya zelu. Anyị sị na dịrị unu mma na eke, dịkwara unu mma na afọ, dịkwaziere unu mma na nkwọ. Mana anyị kwuru na ka ọ ya dịrịrị ise ise ise. Tata bụ ụbọchị afọ. Anyị wetara unu nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa. Unu ma Ikenga, onye na-afụ n'ilu akwụkwọ kịta, IKENGA IMO steeti. Ife ọ dụrụ hope n'ọnụ na wọtọwọtọ ya, ọ pịara ya ọpa court n'ọnụ. Gee ntị ọfụma ọfụma, o kwuru ya ka o si wee dị. He open up and they view the shocking secret about Hope Uzodinma and ife ọ na-emegasị n'Imo steeti against ụmụ Chineke, ụmụ Biafra, ụmụ Ife. Gee ntị ka ị nụ ihe o kwuru, ka ọ rapịdị ka ọnụnụ m ka o si wee pụta. Anyị ga-esi ya bụ ife gabarụ, drop a comment gị on the comment below. All right, over to you, my brother. Over to you, sir.
Because the one that happened to Imo in the Supreme Court is still lying there, not reopened since that time. And that's why they have the audacity to think that our judicial process will continue to receive this kind of situations that undermines the sacred sanctity of our rule of law. It's not about me. God has blessed me. I have been in this fight for the common good of the common people. This fight was not what defined me. It's my commitment to serve society. And there's nothing, rep or no rep, that can stop me from that advocacy for the common good. The man who's the man's OPC used to challenge me came third and won one polling unit out of 346, like I said before. They have challenged these issues and courts have held the venue valid and they lack the local standard to challenge it. This case came as a result of the boldness of Uzodinma to take fake papers to Supreme Court and mislead the Supreme Court to declare him winner from fourth position. Hence, they planned a repeat of using a man who won one polling unit out of 346 and came third in an election to silence a man who the people elected. But you cannot. We have fought these political monsters over the years and we will keep fighting them. Hope of a better society dies when men of goodwill shy away based on temporary issues and abuse of the system from fighting. We will not shy away. Justice Akpovi's decision, and I repeat, Justice Akpovi's decision to use a pre-election matter to attempt to void the supreme will of our people is very disappointing, and we will challenge it vigorously at the appeal court. And God's willing, we will claim the sacred victory given to us, for which they have one polling unit out of 346. Men of no shame, and they rush to court because they want to destroy the integrity of our judiciary. The Imo of today have acquired a tag of a breeding ground for activities undermining democracy, electoral process, rule of law, and even daily waste of human life. People are being killed left, right, and center, and the organs harvested. Since Uzodinma, that was never elected, took fake papers and mislead the Supreme Court to be declared a winner from fourth position, all men of low electoral moral have confronted all sorts of evil or the other in Imo State. Elections are now being held without beavers. Beavers are now being bypassed. That will be subject for another discussion of how people can upload fake accreditation into the beavers machine. And that's why he thinks they can repeat this in Idato. It will not happen. Many people are losing the election at that tribunal because they won election and somebody went and uploaded fake accreditation to back up fake written figures. And that is why Ikenga must be killed to silence me. You cannot silence me. They feel if they can get away with the Supreme Court magic, they can get away with using pre-election business grant to steal our mandate. No way. Let me remind you all, we won the primary landslide. They challenged us and we won them, even when they did not participate even in our primary. And they still came back on the same matter. Note that after the state government backed militia murdered and beheaded some of our loved ones, including my lovely uncle, and nearly escaped being beheaded as they were shouting outside the gate that they would take my head to Owerri. Owerri to whose? To whose house? To who? We even identified the vehicle that was snatched in Owerri by 5 a.m. that brought the explosive with which our house was bombed and our family members killed. Did the CP Ibadan do anything? And the NGO police still leaves CP Ibadan. CP Ibadan is the one who coordinated the electoral attempt to declare one woman winner in Zamfara state. And he was transferred. Some people went behind the scene and they brought him to Owerri. Can you talk about having free and fair election in Imo with such a man? People that can frame people, fabricate charges, 15 of them or more against us. Is this how to build institution? Is this how to build democracy? Is this not why there is all over Africa there is military intervention and crisis? Because people don't believe in democracy again because of such actions like this. For our country to work, it must be based on rule of law and not about individuals. We cannot surrender this country to people who come from first act. We have decided, and let me repeat, today Justice Akpobi nullified my election on a pre-election issue of primary by an application from an Uzodinma APC candidate loser who won 1 polling unit out of 346 polling units. One, even when media was challenged was not in the state, we still won by the will of our people. And today, we are being punished because we did not bow to an individual who is unfit to be in office. Now, the man that was propped up by him to attempt to reignite the magic of the Supreme Court this time around with Justice Akpobi on an issue of pre-election, something that is not one of the constitutional grounds for disqualification, something the appeal court yesterday and even 2 days ago ruled on, something that the same Imo Election Precedents Tribunal have ruled on other members of the House of Rep that their primary held the same venue as valid and a pre-election issue that non-party members can challenge. Same tribunal here in Maraba, Nasarawa, just 2 days ago. But Justice Akpobi used that to nullify a people's mandate based on an application by a young man who won 1 polling unit out of 346 and came third. This judgment is perversion of justice and an insult on the principle of constitutional justice. And as a soldier of democracy and defender of the people's interest, I will fight this till the end. And my courage and strength for advocacy have been emboldened. Not everyone will bow to the audacity of First Act 419 people to destroy the decency of our society in their bid to keep power. No matter what, I am committed to the strong ideals of democracy. Let all men of goodwill know IKENGA cannot be intimidated by the powers being wielded by men unfit to be in an elected position. I will vigorously challenge this decision. At the same time, I will challenge this decision at the appeal court with everything in me, and I will continue, and at the same time, no matter how it ends, remain committed to speaking more truth to power, standing against immoralists and men of no decent background who have seized our democratic space. Take the news around. I am stronger than ever before. This has motivated me to understand the need why I must continue the advocacy, that our society is getting rotten and people are playing akara with our judiciary, and it must stop. Like me or hate me, I cannot change on this given path that God has given me. For the fact that I escaped their bullet and their knife to cut off my head on January 14th, a symbolic day of the same day they stole our mandate from Supreme Court. Having survived that, there's nothing any human can do that can change me. You can bring frivolous charges, you can bring throw-back charges, you can find more terrorism charges, more other charges as you are carrying them up all over the place. But I will remain undisturbed in my quest to keep speaking truth to power and fighting for our people. This is injustice. This is a sad day for our democracy. And we will fight it because we have great respect for the judiciary. We will fight it, and we will petition to NJC to review the circumstances on how this judgment was arrived at. We continue to respect the judiciary, and we hope and pray that the Court of Appeal will be courageous enough to redo this injustice done against the people of Idato by a man and his godfather who won 1 polling unit out of 346 polling units and used a pre-election matter of primary to want to stop the supreme mandate that God and our people gave to me. Almost every Nigerian has received the copies of the judgment of the Court of Appeal in their phones including Justice Akpovi and other members of his tribunal. Yet, they went ahead to do what they did. If they did not respect the Court of Appeal enough, at least, if they did not respect the Court of Appeal enough, at least the Court of Appeal cited a judgment of the Supreme Court, and they should have respected that. Furthermore, in answer to the question on whether a court can entertain an action by a political party challenging the nomination of a candidate of another political party, Justice Jero said this, Justice Jero of the Supreme Court. A political party that files a suit to challenge the nomination of the candidate of another political party will be a nosy busybody, a meddlesome interloper, peeping into the affairs of his neighbor without any backing in law. No court of law can entertain such suit. Therefore, the appellant lacks local standards in suit and maintain this action at the trial court. But because of Uzodinma once again, we will breach our laws. Despite these obvious positions of law, the tribunal did what it did. Uzodinma thinks he can take champagne on what transpired in the tribunal today. He should know that this will not change who we are. It will not change who we are. As messengers of the people, we continue to push those frontiers for accountability and justice, and nobody can change that. We will hold him to account, and we will continue to hold him to account. Uzodinma should know that we will never bow. And I repeat, I want you to look at me. We will never bow. Imo will win, and Idaho will win. Let me state it clearly to him. The outcome of whatever happens in this House of Representative election will not define who IKENGA IMO UNVEILS is. It has never been a do or die fight, but be rest assured that I will give it my best shot. And my best shot has always been on the side of the people and sanctioned by God Almighty. Upon all the boast that I will not win election, some of you saw him on TV ranting about it, that I'm not popular. Even when my uncle was beheaded by people who came from away, at the end of the day, he was laughing. But in that election, I was not in Imo State. My people stood and we won election. And I want Nigerians to know, the man he sent to court to challenge me won only one polling unit out of 346 polling units. 346 polling units. He won one polling unit. Not even Uzodinma's wife could win her own polling unit. In absence, my people defeated them and we had victory. And you come third, and then you go to tribunal because it had been tried in Supreme Court where he took fake result sheet, which could the Supreme Court move him from fourth position to first position. Now he thinks that they can come from third position and look at the impeccable victory of my people, that he could only get one polling unit with his party, and then you torpedo it with a pre-election grant of primary election, venue primary, that the court has defined clearly is a primary post-election issues, pre-election issues, that you don't have locus. Not talk about the fact that you are from another party. And they have challenged it in different courts. We have won all of them, even up to Supreme Court. And then Justice Akpovi this afternoon said the mandate given to us by our people have been invalidated. We are coming to Imo for campaigns. When we come down, Imo will see that nothing has happened in the past 4 years, except using the common patrimony of the people to massage the overbloated ego of an undeserving imperial who will soon be voted out by the people. A man that will never, and will even not in the first place, elect. Let me repeat again, that the man he brought up to court and have been boasting, that even if he means spending 1 month allocation, he will spend to make sure I am not declared a lawmaker. I was not defined by the House of Representatives. I have been a corrupted soldier for my people. I've gone through think and means, even with blood spilled by state agents in front of our house who have remained undaunted. This cannot define me. But the commitment I have with God as a messenger of the people, I will continue to roll high, and nothing can stop that. One polling unit. That is what they want. One polling unit. And you want to torpedo the supreme victory of our people. One polling unit out of 346 polling units. That was what happened. And now, you win one polling unit out of 346 in either of that constituency. And that is the person that wants to now get an opportunity to go to the House of Representatives. Heroes do not trend on smooth ground. They meet their setback. But they triumph by clinching the ultimate victory because they have God. In all these jokes, from Uzodinma. We have remained the victors, backed by the immeasurable love of God and the support of our people. Now, let me repeat this once more. No political party, going by what the Supreme Court said in P2B's case, can challenge the nomination of the candidate of another political party. No matter how pained or disgruntled the political party is with the way and manner another political party is conducting or has conducted its affairs concerning the nomination of his candidate for any position, he must keep mum and remain an onlooker for he lacks the local standing to challenge such a nomination. A political party lacks the locus to challenge the action of INEC in relation to another political party. After the election, they filed a case, even at the state APC and the candidate who challenged me. We won the case at the Federal High Court. It was clearly stated there was a pre-election matter. And going by the fourth alteration to the Constitution, you don't have the locus to challenge that. Labour brought it, we won it. Some people brought it, also in PDP, we won it. Supreme Court affirmed it. And we went into the election. And we were declared winner. Even when I was not around for the election, my people stood and defended. It has been a journey of blood and sweat since I expressed my interest to represent my people in the National Assembly, particularly the Federal House of Representatives. That is what the men of little faith will see. But for me and my people of Idato Federal Constituency, it has been a journey of multiple victories and an opportunity for God to show that He alone is God and not any man. When the electioneering process began openly in 2022, those who do not mean well for the people of Idato gathered and began a plot to stop me by all means. 36 court cases were filed against me and I won all of them. These included cases instigated from outside PDP to stop me from participating in the primaries, to cases by my opponents from Labour Party and that of APC. It also included frivolous and nonsensical criminal cases instigated by Governor Gov Uzodinma. Nigerians will recall that sometime in September 2022, I, as the spokesperson of the CUPP, exposed the grandest manipulation in history of Nigerian voter register, which was commissioned among magic. It was a plot through which the 2023 general election was going to be manipulated and won against the will and voice of Nigerians. As they will say, the rest is history, and it must be noted that it was a strict application of the counter to the magic which we exposed that made it possible that we could win this election. Nigerians will also recall that there were several attempts on my life, at least 4 bloody attempts between December 2022 and February 2023. We captured one of such attempts on video, which we showed to all Nigerians, including the state actors that came for the operation. Up to today, they are still parading around government house away and nothing has happened to them. In another attack on 7th January 2023, my father's younger brother and loving uncle, Uncle Dan, was brutally murdered in cold blood in my house, along with others by attackers who came with bombs and guns and razed everything in sight. These attackers were Imo State government backed. It is worthy of note that despite my best efforts in carrying out private investigation to identify who my attackers are and to supply such information to the police, till today there was no investigation into any of the attacks on my house. Rather, the CP, Bade, and his DSS collaborator in Owerri, Wikos, framed me for terrorism, murder, and arson. We had pointedly accused Uzodinma of being economical with the truth He knows about the attack on my house and the killing of my family members. Events since then have come to vindicate us that truly, as the Chief Security Officer of the state, Uzodinma is the single largest threat to security in Imo State. Couple of weeks to the election, in a childishly collaborative and utterly condemnable turn of event, the Nigerian police declared Ihedioha, Gerald Irona, and my humble self wanted. It was clearly done to arrest us and keep us out of circulation for the election and nothing more. I insisted I must be on ground for my election and face whatever Uzodinma and his group had in stock. Many people advised that I should not go and save my life first before they suspected I would not come out of the election alive if I went to Imo. I told all who cared to listen that I would not stay away because someone threatened to kill me. Gentlemen, I was reported to my Reverend Father who summoned me, and after hearing my view, I told him to pray that I should go and return safely. He said to me, if I pray and tell you what God says, will you obey? I said yes. I would obey what God says without questioning. 2 days later, he summoned me and said God has spoken that since I was innocent of all the allegations against me, that I will not go for the election, and that God himself will send help to me and I will be victorious. Truly, because I have given my word to him, I agree not to go to Southeast Nigeria for the election. As God said, I won the election with a landslide, without being anywhere near the polling unit, in my ward, in my local government, in my federal constituency, in my state, and indeed in the entire of Southeast. I am today the only lawmaker in southern Nigeria that have won the election, the second after Misha that won election without being at the venue of the election. Despite all the boasting and rantings of Uzodinma, I defeated him from outside the state. The same governor and his legion, who had always called me rabble-rouser of no electoral value, lost the election to my God. His wife lost the polling unit. The wife's father lost the polling unit. The 5 commissioners lost the polling unit. The zonal vice chairman of the party lost the polling unit. The state organizing secretary lost the polling unit. Everybody that has anything to do with him lost the polling unit, showing the level of disdain our people have for him. Now, people know the reason I have dedicated the entire time since inauguration to the service of my people. Because the mandate I hold is a mandate of my people given to me in my absence by God Almighty. This Sunday, 10th September 2023, the Justice Akpovi-led Tribunal, in a most shocking manner, said it has nullified the people's victory, disqualified me from the election, and declared the vote cast for me by my people and protected by God as invalid, and ordered a supplementary election without me. The reason given for disqualifying and invalidating over 30,000 votes of the people of Idato is that of my nomination and the primary election that produced me that is invalid. Primary election. That was what Justice Akpovi used. Primary election. Despite the judgment of the appeal court just a few days ago that qualifications can only be based by the provisions of the Constitution. Did Akpovi not hear it? Why bring up the issue today? Just in a bid to stop IKENGA at all costs. Gentlemen, in a plethora of cases, the courts have declared that the internal affairs of a political party are non-justiciable. It has also declared that a political party cannot challenge the primaries and nomination of candidates of another political party. This challenge have been brought against me by the LP and the APC even before the election. I won all these cases up to Supreme Court. These documents was deposited before the Justice Akpovi's Tribunal. Very clear to everybody that wants to listen. Even the same Imo Election Petition Tribunal have had the cases of other people who had the same primary with me at the same venue and affirmed it and their victory legitimate. Must we destroy the institutions of democracy because we want to get to a courageous messenger of the people? Just on Wednesday, the Court of Appeal, delivered the judgment in 3 petitions filed before it concerning the presidential election. In that judgment,
ndị be anyị daalụlụ nne nụ kunu si na-esere n'ụbọchị nke taa bụ afọ daalụlụ nne ụmụ Chineke anyị na-afụ kọmentị unu n'afọ kunu si esere anyị sị na Chukwu oke abịa maka ịnọnyere unu niile n'ofu n'ofu ọ naghị kwuru na-akọ ya dịrịrị ise 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 dịka anyị nụrụ ife Ikenga Imo steeti ịnụrụ ife okwu ka ife nwere ike ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife okwu n'iru akwụkwọ o kwuru ya ka o si wee dị anyị ma na ife gbasara maka ife na-eme n'obodo anyị bụ South East onye ka anyị ji wee tinye ya so maka anyị chọrọ ị na-enye ndị be anyị ọpdeti ọbụla na-eme gbasara maka ọdịda anyanwụ ife ọbụla na-eme n'ọdịda anyanwụ nke a na-akpọ Eastern part of this country anyị ga na-enye unu ọpdeti ya dịka ige ya bụ ife ka ife nwere ike ikwu gbasara maka ihe Ikenga na-atụgasị aka n'iru akwụkwọ a na-aba na-ekwu iwe na-ewu ya gịnị ka i nwere ike ikwu gbasara maka ya dropụra ya on the comment below. Echefuna na ya bụ Eastern News 24 bụ ka anyị si na-ewetara unu nnukwu ozi ya dị oke mkpa. Daalụ nne na ndị be anyị nwa nke emesịa.